Hey y'all, Jayce here. Thank you for tuning in. Before the video starts, I just wanted to give y'all a disclaimer. My dumb self had the wrong mic selected in OBS for the first part of the panel. So unfortunately, I was using my webcam mic and it's very crunchy. So I was able to re-record some of the scripted sections of the panel, but unfortunately, some of my conversation with the panel guests is still that kind of crunchy audio. Fortunately, I was able to fix that part way through, so you'll only have to deal with it for a little bit of time. Again, I'm super sorry. I was really bummed that I screwed up the quality, but I can't really re-record the panel. We'll just have to deal with it, and it's a lesson in always triple, quadruple checking your settings before you start recording. So thank you in advance for bearing with it. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and please enjoy the panel. Hello everybody, thank you ever so much for tuning in. Welcome to the very first iteration of the Disventure Camp All-Stars VA Q&A panel. Whew, that is a mouthful. My name is Jayce, and I am the English voice actor of Tom and one of the proofreaders for All-Stars. But this is mostly not about me, but about our esteemed guests. I'm very excited because the brave voice actors who agree to be part of the very first round of whatever this is, are some of the coolest people I've gotten to work with. They are the heart, soul, and backbone of this project. First up is a man, or duck, you probably know well from his fun and charming YouTube channel. A longtime fan of Total Drama and Disventure Camp, now turned voice actor, he has over 13,000 subscribers and has cultivated his own community with wit, humor, and pure charisma. This feathered water bird never fails to light up a room. He is the voice behind the lovable Trevor and also a proofreader for Season 1 of Disventure Camp. It's none other than the silliest, abilious, Silly Billy. Hello, Billy!
Hello. That was such a good intro. Holy crap.
Thank
You're putting
you.
the interview series I did to shame.
Oh, stop. I'm just a little bit of a writer. It's okay.
Oh, wow. Well, it shows. Hello, everybody.
Hi,
Thank
Billy.
you for having me. And on the first panel, too, man. I feel honored.
Yeah, thank you for being here because I know it's always a little nerve-wracking to be the first one, so I appreciate y'all being the guinea pigs. It really does mean a lot.
Guinea pigs is a good word. Yeah, okay. We're gonna have to do weird social experiments in a sec. My name is Silly Billy. You can call me Billy. If you have watched any of my videos, then you should know that by now, I think. I am originally from the Netherlands. Or, well, originally, I'm still in the Netherlands as we are recording this. I am 24, almost 25 years old. Oh my god.
Oh, you're so old. You're so old.
So old. Stop. Luckily, I don't have gray hair yet, so that's a good thing. I got into Disventure Camp, I believe it was right at the start of Season 2. I remember making a video about 1 or 2 episodes in. That was my first introduction to the show, and I believe it was because somebody recommended it to me. I just started out YouTube as something I would like to pursue, and then just came on my path hey, you should watch this show. And before that point, I really wasn't into a lot of fan-made shows, so it was really a first for me, so to say. And I liked the show, gave it a couple more shots, and then here we are, voice acting silly little man Trevor. Yay!
Oh, yeah. I love just the kind of just natural sort of progression you had. Just starting as a fan and just working your way into the community and yeah, finding yourself a voice. That's awesome. And you have been such a talented voice actor. I feel like you really jumped into the role of Trevor right away. Even watching back the first episode of Season 1, I'm that is Trevor. 100%.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, your energy's always so good.
Yeah, the first episode, I had such imposter syndrome. I was listening back to the episodes, everybody's voices sounded amazing, and I was just hearing me in the role. It's what am I doing here? But over time, I grew into it more, and I love voicing Trevor. I'm sure we're going to dive into this more once the episode gets rolling. We have 2 more amazing guests to introduce.
Yes!
But, yeah, it's just the freedom I get with Trevor makes him one of my favorite characters to play. So yeah, it's a little give and take for the role.
Yeah. Alrighty, next up is an exceptional talent. Perhaps the person who works up the most energy behind the mic to match her character's pure, unbridled, and unhinged personality. In fact, every time she does a take, we have to send a medical team in to check her oxygen levels. She is not only the English voice behind the energetic Gabby, but also the Polish voice, and also the supervisor of the entire Polish dub of Disventure Camp. It's Anna!
What can I say? Thank you for the great intro about me. I'm from Poland and I know about this venture camp because my friend tell me about that project and say, oh look, that's great. Maybe we could create fund up from this. And I think that's very nice animation, but that was maybe better and season 2. Then was casting and I go try because Odd Nation don't respond me and I think I go casting and I won. I was very surprised about this because I have a Polish accent and I think no one wants me, but
not true at all. I think I speak for everybody that your just natural voice, your natural accent just really brings Gabby to life, and I don't think Gabby would be even close to being the same voice by anybody else. I think you just bring such a natural, wonderful energy.
I'm glad to. And very proud of this. You like my voice and accent now?
Of course, you're super talented.
Aww.
Yeah.
Last episode was very cute with Tom and Gabby because they was challenge between them and they friends still friends.
Yeah.
That was cute.
Friends to enemies to friends again, my favorite arc.
Yes.
And last, but certainly not least, to round out today's panel, a talent of incredible range. The sweetest being that happens to play one of the most cunning characters. A hard worker, delightful person, and as it turns out, pro Among Us player. That's right, today we have the voice behind arguably the best character in all of Disventure Camp, the nun from All-Stars Episode 1. Yeah, oh, and he also voices Alec too, I guess. It's Raitix! Hello, Raitix!
Oh, that was such a kind intro.
Especially came from the heart.
Getting that pro Among Us player in there. Yep. Okay, so I'm Anthony. I go by Raitix online. I'm from Scotland, and before Disventure Camp, I had no experience in voice acting. Absolutely none. DC was the first thing I ever even auditioned for. So, anyone watching, know that I was, what's the word? I was a greenhorn. So, I made it in. So don't push yourself off the idea of auditioning just because you're new and inexperienced. Sometimes you've got the voice they're looking for. I got into DC, well, I found out about its existence before DC2 released. I think the OG Adventura thing popped up in my recommended. And I believe I saw that they were holding auditions for season 2. I was thinking about going for it, but I wasn't confident in myself at that point. So never really took the opportunity to try until season 1 came around. At that point, I was feeling more serious about getting a start in voice acting, so I contacted LJ, voice of Jensen, because he actually has voice acting experience. Hell yeah, shout out.
I miss Jensen.
So do I. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we just discussed just mics and all the setup stuff, and lo and behold, we both wound up with a part in DC, so I wouldn't be here without his support, so major shout-outs to LG.
Aww. Again, welcome to Silly Billy, Anna, and Raitix. All of these wonderful actors hail from Europe, so today's panel will unofficially be named VA Eurovision 2024 The Remix. Awesome. Thank you all for introducing yourselves, and thank you to everyone who submitted questions for the Q&A. There were a lot, so we obviously won't be able to answer all of them, but stay tuned as you will have more opportunities to ask questions during future panels. But before we get to the audience questions, I wanted to spark a little discussion here. So, for me at least, something that's really stood out to me about Disventure Camp and series like it is its ability to connect with people across the globe. And honestly, it's my personal favorite part about doing a project like this. It's being able to impact so many people across several languages and cultures, and also work with some amazing people. Like, I probably would have never met any of y'all without Disventure Camp. So I want to do a little keynote discussion, and I want to pose this question to the panel, especially since all of us reside in different countries. The question is, for you, what is the importance of indie animation and its ability to reach a global audience? Maybe what are some stories you have or things you've noticed regarding this topic? Maybe you can speak on storytelling in general and the way it can unite people. So whoever would like to start can go for it, and we'll just keep it flowing from there.
Okay, well, I think I'll have something to point out. I'm not a writer myself, per se, but I have noticed over the last couple of years, especially because I think a lot of this animated elimination shows, it started from a passion for total drama. And I think where a lot of these shows kind of picked up is when total drama itself stopped producing new seasons. I believe before the reboot, which got announced in 2022, 21, something like that. I believe the last season was in like 2015 or 16, so it had been a lot of years before more content was officially produced. And I really appreciate the community going like this, almost Thanos-like, fine, I'll do it myself, and bringing us all these amazing fan-made productions, which keep increasing in quality. I know they've been around for a long time, especially now that I'm getting into a couple of those object shows like Battle for Dream Island and Inanimate Insanity. Those have been around for a long time.
They
but I'm
have,
noticing
yeah.
a lot more shows picking up in quality, and that is probably because of initially a lack of new content from the creators itself. So thanks, Total Drama creators, for being slow with new seasons. And we love you.
Yeah, and I gotta say, too, I think just like, in addition to seeing all the animated elimination shows coming out and the quality improving, like, there's so many people that are inspired, and it feels like there's so much momentum going, because now, you know, we have projects coming up like Reality Resort, Calamity Island, Exotic Escapade. Like, we have all these new shows coming out, just people inspired by this format. I think there's just a lot of fun storytelling you can do. I think just with the very concept of animated reality TV, I think the original Total Drama creators just really like found lightning in a bottle with that concept, because it's so entertaining. Because it's basically all the like fun and campiness of reality TV, but you have the ability to control the narrative completely. So I think that's really cool. I think that's probably why so many people from around the world just really connect with series like this. Even just like doing the Q&A, it's so cool to see all the questions roll in, and there's people from Peru, there's people from New Zealand, there's people from Chile, there's people from Poland, just like all these different countries, like people are watching Disventure Camp and connecting with it, so.
All people love the same. I think TV shows, it's very entertaining, and I like this feeling when it's elimination and your favorite character maybe stay, maybe not, and is fascinating. This made connection with your favorite characters, show like that. And about animation, I think fun indie animation, I think Disventure Camp is very good. I think Disventure Camp can be showed on TV. This amazing about animation, about storyline. You understand me, because I want to say a lot, but I don't have words.
I think you make a really good point. Like the quality, we're seeing just like really does help people connect with the show. And it does feel a lot of ways like it could just be, something on TV. And I think that's just definitely props to Jared and Robert and all the very talented artists who work behind the show, who really just, it looks so polished. And I think that just like helps people even more like be able to connect with it. And it has the polish of like an actual TV show, but then like so much of the freedom of the indie series. Like they can tell kind of whatever story they want because they're, not answering to network schedules or anything like that. So and it being on YouTube, obviously, of course, creates a huge global outreach. Like, YouTube is very accessible for most of the world.
I just think it's amazing that indie content can just come from anywhere in the world, like, because of all these streaming sites. Like, with bigger studios, you're trying to appeal to, like, the broadest of audiences, and, like, that means you can't really focus and represent specific things. I'm blanking on the word. Cultures.
Yeah.
But indie films and shows and all that, they're not specifically trying to appeal to super broad audiences, so they can really focus on the specific stories they want to tell, which it's great to expose these different cultures to the world and bring awareness to them.
The ease of getting into YouTube and making these shows is also, I think, something that helps the medium a whole lot. Like, I'm not making light of making a show like this. I believe even for the most simplistic ones, countless of hours go into it. But it's a different story than being picked up by a network that also has to air your show. So I think YouTube as a platform is really a good way for creators to grow themselves, and then from there, the ones that stand out, that actually make the breakthrough, get this audience that shows that there is potential in this, they get to go on and grow even more. Look at, for example, Fizzy Pop from the Hell thingies, not blanking on the name. Crap, the thingy where I did the cover for. Yeah, Has-Been Hotel, that's it. So she started on YouTube as well, and look at where she is going right now with Amazon picking her up. And I'm pretty sure that the guys from Glitch, the guys behind the Amazing Digital Circus, will get the same treatment anytime soon, because they have also been killing it. You get to see a lot of this that starts to become more and more professional, and in turn, more and more out there to the real world, so to say.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up, because we kind of are in a renaissance of these indie creators just really excelling and creating some really great stuff. Like we have Has-Been Hotel. I mean, even Smiling Friends, the creators started on YouTube. Like their style of their style of animation, like Oni plays, and like their style of animation and their kind of humor has just always been present in their YouTube videos. And I know a lot of the kind of guest characters are like these guest stars they have on like certain episodes are also YouTubers. Like I think Joel Haver, however you say it. He's also a YouTuber and does like the rotoscope thing, and then they featured that in an episode. So it's just like really cool to just see that, because now like Smiling Friends is this huge thing, and it's on Adult Swim, so it's like very much on a main network, and we're just really seeing this. Like I think people are really craving indie developers just really bringing forward stories that feel original and fresh, because I think things have just felt really stale in Hollywood. Not to shade Hollywood, but
definitely shade Hollywood, man. If you want to get your voice out there, do it with your wallets. Just don't go to movies that don't appeal to you. It's what you've been seeing with the movie theaters now as well, where like a lot of the big budget movies are flopping so incredibly hard, especially after COVID. Now that movie tickets have become way expensive. Like, I'm not going to the movies as frequently as I used to.
Oh, no.
YouTube, on the other hand, I'm watching that more and more and more. It's so funny that you mentioned Smiling Friends is from YouTube, because when I was watching that, I had the feeling that it was just one giant YouTube shitpost. With the cutaway jokes they do constantly, that is like prime YouTube comedy. So I'm really surprised, and at the same time not surprised at all that it is.
Now, one more thing before we get to the Q&A, and don't worry, it's definitely something folks will be interested in, as it will help answer a ton of questions people already asked. I wanted to get into some character analysis. I think Trevor, Gabby, and Alec in particular have some of the richest arcs in the entire show. We really see multiple sides to their personalities, especially in this season. So we'll go one at a time here and start with Billy. Let's talk about Trevor.
I love that Trevor is getting the story development that he deserves, to be fair.
He does deserve it.
Yeah, Trevor has been... I'm so grateful for this, because Trevor, from the beginning, has been kind of a blank slate, especially in Season 1. He was really just kind of hosty guy, a little bit goofier than Derek, and that was about the depth of the dynamics between the two of them. So I'm really happy that I got to input a lot of my thoughts into the character. And kudos to Jared and Robert for letting me improvise so much of Trevor, because, oh man, I don't think Trevor would have been the same if not for that, and it makes voicing the character so much more fun. And I think you can kind of hear that too, that I'm just having a lot of fun with this character. And so between Season 1 and Season 3, there was a period of time where I was still pitching in ideas for the show. I think, Jayce, this is about the time that you came to join the team as well. You kind of tagged me out, so to say.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah, exactly. So I still did a couple of pitches, and I'll dive a little bit more into this once the season is over. I have a couple of thoughts that I'd like to share, which are not really appropriate for me to share right now. But I have had a little hand in Trevor's story this season through. And I just love that they kind of embraced that idea and just, went for it and tweaked it to perfection with what we are getting right now. Because while heartbreaking, I am loving the story that Trevor is going through this season. And I know a little bit of how it's going to go. And I know a little bit of what is going to happen with the characters involved. And, oh, man, Trevor's going to be... If he's not a fan favorite already, then he's going to be by the time this is done.
Don't break your NDA. No, just kidding.
That.
No, I agree. I think Trevor just has so much heart and soul, and he's just such a relatable character, And I think now that we're in episode 12, I'm being careful of what I'm saying here. Just trying to think of what's actually been revealed. But yeah, when it comes to Trevor, I think a lot of us have been in Trevor's shoes, where we see, the crush, the love of our life, kiss someone else. And it is heartbreaking. So and I think I saw a lot of people really resonated with his scene at the end, It's just that very emotional place, because I think a lot of people can relate.
Reading that in the script was funny too. The episode ends with Trevor crying. I think there's a voice clip of me reacting to that as well, the voice lines that I sent to Jared and Robert. I'm responding as I'm reading the script, oh, Trevor cries, no.
And
I think that's pretty much the vibe that everyone had while watching at home too. No, Trevor.
You're just you made Trevor cry, you monster.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And it's funny too, because Trevor, for me, especially during Season 1 for a lot of it, and also during Season 3 of All-Stars. When I was watching Season 2 myself, I thought one thing it was severely lacking was comedic relief characters. And getting the chance to play one myself with Trevor was actually so nice, because I knew that the show needed a little bit of lighthearted comedy here and there. And Trevor was sporadic enough that he was the perfect fit for that role. You get to see him a couple of times per episode. He says some dumb stuff, improvises some dumb lines, and then we have a little bit of comedy, a little bit of light, and people easily attach to that as well, which is what I think contributes to Trevor being such a popular character too. And well, we kind of we decided no fun for Trevor this season, even though he is still pretty goofy.
He is still pretty goofy, because I was going to say, I just always think of the harmonica scene in episode 1. Yeah. And that just, really, it just started All-Stars off on such a good note. And that was all you. That was, your improv. So I want to give you your flowers for that, because it was hilarious.
Thank you so much. I was watching that scene in the script, and that's one of those moments where you can just as well need to thank Jared and Robert for that, because in the script it was just We see we see Trevor sitting in jail, and he's sad. And then a guard comes up, and it's like, Trevor, we have visitor. Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah, that was you.
Yeah, it was me. People didn't know who it was. I'm like, it was me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
doing my
But that's
transatlantic.
because you have a big
like...
range of characters, man. Like, if I were
Oh.
to try that, you could at least hear it's me.
Oh, go on. No, seriously, keep going.
Keep going. Okay, well, you're so handsome and so pretty and So I was sitting there reading that part, and I was like, okay, so this is not how Trevor would react to this situation. How would he, as a person, be when sitting in this jail cell? And I thought, you know what? Just give me a harmonica. I'm imagining Trevor trying to play an instrument, going for it all out, just spectacularly failing at it. And then the song just came out of nowhere. I think it was take one as well. So yeah, that was just kind of what Trevor needed at that moment. And I'm so happy that got so well received.
Yeah, it was definitely a highlight. I think it's just like you touch on it a little bit, but I think sometimes like people forget too, just like how much actors have agency and also kind of writing and crafting these characters. Because sometimes we do look at the script and be like, you know, I know my character better than anyone. I don't think they would quite react this way. And you throw in your improv and you let yourself have fun. And Jared and Robert are so good about letting us have, I think, creative liberty with a lot of the lines. And a lot of times they include the improv. So I think it's just always cool to like, it's like it takes a village to raise a child. It like takes an entire team of artists to craft a character, right? It's like all the like moving parts. So it just like really brings everything to life in a really cool way.
Okay, so I have maybe the hottest take we'll hear today.
Oh man, I'm scared.
I'm starting to root more for Tremely than for Trevik.
Oh,
It makes more sense. It makes more sense. I hate to say it, but Derek and Crystal, they're kind of a good match, you know? And Trevor x Emily is something that I was not expecting, but you know, kind of makes sense.
It does.
Makes sense.
I love their dynamic so much. Honestly, some of my favorite scenes to proofread were the Trevor and Emily scenes because I just love their dynamic so much.
It's so good, and they work off each other so well, and it's kind of amazing that they do. I don't know exactly why Emily likes Trevor so much. She seems like the kind of person who would think Trevor is just kind of a little dum-dum, you know, way below her level. But that's what makes their dynamic so fun. Why is Emily so interested in Trevor unless she has something for Trevor? And as far as I'm aware, Trevor is bisexual. So, hey, he could swing either way.
That is, I like as far as I'm aware. Trevor is allegedly bisexual. No, he is. He's canonically. But yeah, it's definitely interesting because Emily. I know Kat's not here to really talk about it, but Emily has definitely like been one of my favorite characters. Partially because like she's new and it's always fun to like see fresh characters, but I think just because she like has that soft spot, I just love the character, like the classic where they're super mean and just kind of like condescending to everyone except for one character they have a soft spot for. I just love that trope so much because I always think it's so fun and interesting.
Yeah, same here. And I love seeing them together. I hope that we get more from them somewhere down the future. I don't know if it's in the stars. I don't know if Emily is coming back for future projects or something, but God, would I love to see Emily again.
Same. I think I feel like she's like too good of a character to waste on just like half a season. So hopefully we see more.
Jayce, you have proofreading abilities now. Pitch in for the next season. Trevor as host, Emily as intern. Do it. Make it happen.
Oh, do the role reversal. That's funny. Okay, when we do start to do pitches for the next season, I'll consider that.
Sweet. And then this time, don't bring Derek.
Derek's gone. Derek.
He's gone. Him and Crystal have run off into the sunset. Trevor is all alone. He needs a new friend.
I was going to say maybe there's just another bus explosion. Like every season, there's a bus explosion takes out a different staff character.
Uh-oh.
No, that's a little dark. That being said, I do want to move on to my personal favorite character in the entire series. I'm not just saying that because her voice actress is here, but honestly, Gabby is probably my single favorite Disventure Camp character if I had to choose.
Mine too.
Yeah, just because she's so
Good pick.
fun. She is so fun, and I think just the more we got to see her, the deeper she got. Like, I remember my first impression of her, I felt like she was going to be very one note, and then she wasn't. And there's just so much to unpack with Gabby. So, but I am not the main person to do it. I'm going to turn it over to Anna. If you have any thoughts or just things you want to talk about with Gabby's character or her arc this season, or just kind of how you got into her role and how you got into her headspace as an actor.
I think about Gabby. She is a very empathic and very expressive person. Not like me in real life.
Really?
Maybe I am empathic, but not very expression. And you know what I mean. I don't have too much energy like Gabby.
You're more
but-
relaxed.
Yeah, but Gabby is some goofy too, but she is very kind about this, but sometimes is too hasty and always want to revenge about Lil and Ashley
Yup.
in season 1, or even Tess. She's her friend, but she needs to revenge because Tess voting for Ellie. I think she understands it's only game. It's not very deep. And I'm wondering about she's PTSD about isolation. In season 1 was she must stand 20 or 50 minutes in isolation, and that she very scared about this. And I wondering about her past, what happened, and she friend every animal. Maybe she don't have friends in the past, and she's only friends was animals.
Because she connects with animals so much more than people. Yeah, I think Gabby is just so... there's kind of a lot to her past that is a bit more vague, and we're not entirely sure of it. But I think there's so much little clues and hints we get, kind of with her dad being a little bit more dismissive of her, and she talks to Gret about feeling ignored by her family. So it's likely she kind of had a very lonely childhood, and it probably explains why she might have trouble making friends, and why she holds grudges against people that she feels has wronged her. I think Gabby's a very kind and compassionate person, but I think what makes her so compelling is that she's a kind person who also has a tendency to hold grudges. I think that just makes her such a rounded character.
And she's very sensitive to feelings another, with Gret. She don't like now Gret, but I think she understand. And Gabby understand she shouldn't do to Gret. Even she doesn't like Gret now because Gret hurts she's in the past.
Yeah, I think it's kind of I would just describe it as Gabby's being the bigger person, in terms of she recognizes that even though Gret wronged her in the past, she's not going to do the same thing to another character, because she's very compassionate and doesn't want to see someone go through maybe what she went through. And I think Gabby's just I think that's part of her growth too. I think Gabby, as we're seeing her throughout the series, she's learning to be more forgiving, and she's learning to really stick up for what she believes in. And we're starting to see that a lot with her kind of forgiving Tom, and then definitely her defending Gret despite being like, yeah, maybe, I don't like Gret the most, or Gret was kind of a bully to me before, but Gabby still recognizes that no one deserves to be treated the way that Gret's being treated right now.
That's very good. You understanding me and translating my thoughts.
Oh, very much,
and
yeah.
We agree with it. I agree with you and about you say. Yes, and I think Gabby is not only goofy, annoying, very loud person, but she have deeper side when she can show everything in her cuteness and sensitivity.
Because she really sees the good in Ellie, for example, and just is very understanding of people's emotions around her. And
Yes.
I think as the series gone on, she's gained more friends because I think people have just really come around to appreciating Gabby for who she is, and they see her heart, and she's a very genuine person.
I will touch on this real quick too. What I love about Gabby so much is that she has a really strong moral compass. And it switches from time to time. Gabby's views on characters and their positions change.
Yeah.
Gabby's not afraid to go back to Gret when she realizes that Gret is being wrong, despite her and Gret not having the best relationship anymore. And that's, I think, one of the things that I love most about Gabby is that she feels like the most realistic character to play with her emotions. There's a couple of characters in the show that very much strategize based on how they're feeling in the moment. And there's a lot of thoughts that I have about those characters that I think we'll dive into later. But with Gabby, I just really love it because it makes so much sense from Gabby's perspective to be this vengeful, but also this kind-hearted person. The clash between those two shouldn't work, except for when Gabby does it, because then suddenly it is something that just clicks, Gabby is very unique in that regard, and that makes her one of my favorite characters.
In the early season, we see her, she is definitely wary of Ellie, and she's feeling a little disappointed by Ellie, and just isn't really totally on board with how Ellie's acting. But she still, when her team gets rid of Ellie, she still feels hurt by it. So I think she's really caught in the middle in this really interesting way, and I really like the way she's kind of I recognize Ellie was getting really competitive, but also no one talked to me about this. No one came to me or talked to us or tried to, work something out. You just got rid of her. You just voted her off. So I think just that sort of Gabby's perspective in that whole debacle is just really valuable and really realistic, like you're saying, Billy. But before we move on, I do want to ask too, Anna, how do you work up so much energy to voice Gabby? Do you drink coffee before recording? How do you get to the that level of pure fun and chaos?
Yes, I must drink many cup of coffee and eat chocolate.
Chocolate, that'll do it.
And then I can go to work and record Gabby. No, I try to find a character to will show something crazy and very funny. And in the same time cute and sensitive, but that's cost me energy a lot. But this not I don't do this every day, and
Right,
I can go on a few hours, focus on them, and when I play any character, I want to try make myself
get into character.
I try to be this character.
Oh yeah.
And that's it's very natural. I don't know how I say more, because that's I don't know how.
Yeah, no, you're an actor. You put yourself in the mind of the character and you become them, right? You really just see where they're coming from and just let that come across the mic. It's definitely like, and it shows. I think there's just like something so authentic to Gabby, and your performance as her is just always feels so in character, and we just like know exactly who this is like every time we see her on screen. So yeah, I think that's wonderful.
Thank you. I don't know how I say more.
No, I think that's perfect. I think, yeah, that's a really good answer. And definitely, yeah, it's voice acting, right? It's a lot of like you get on the mic and you wear yourself out recording for a couple hours, and then you just have to go chill for a few hours and just like collect yourself, breathe. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. For the sake of time, I think we'll move on to our last character we're going to do a deep dive into today. Alec is just so... he's a villain, but I think like so many people still enjoy him, right? Like so many people still like his character. They find him charming. They find him funny. People just have really gotten invested in, and I love like seeing his journey.
It's a weird... Alec's a weird character because I see there's... You either love him or you hate him.
Right.
And it's crazy how there's so many aspects to him that you can either like or dislike. It's like there's no definitive way to think on it. Like, it's strategical and the ruthless way he plays the game. Like, a lot of people love watching that, but others see him as, you know, like his views towards the game make him a big old jerk or something. And then there's like his father-daughter-ish bond with Fiore. Plenty of people love that. I'm one of them, but many others see it as inappropriate or hound him just because of his neglectful relationship with his own son, which is totally fair. Well, his plot seems like a slow burn. It's certainly a slow burn.
Very much, yeah.
Yeah. Like, his role in the story so far is to set up the villain alliance and keep it strong. He's a little bit of a plot device. Just a little bit.
No, that's fair. You can say it. It's totally fair.
Yeah.
I would agree.
But that's not to say he doesn't have his own plot, because he certainly does. There's something there between Alec and Connor and Alec and Rhea. With both Connor and Rhea in the competition, Alec is at his best in All-Stars. The first 6 episodes, for example, were great because Alec had these 2 sides to him, 2 stories. One with Rhea where he was, villain alliance stuff. Gotta have that. But that was less a plot about Alec specifically and more a plot about the entire season. So like the purpose of Rhea's plot with Alec is to keep showing off his strategical side, I think. Of course, there's moments of bonding, like laughing at Yul's suffering and all that, but I still think the main thing is showing the villain's alliance his strength. Then there's the other side, which is Alec and Connor, where we get to see a more emotional side to Alec, where he's like trying to help Connor get over Rhea, and that was great. It really gave Alec an excuse to divulge and give a clearer picture on his own feelings about his divorce. So then Connor gets eliminated, and that really starves Alec of one of his key interactions for like, it was a decent chunk. It was like 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah.
So it really goes, during that time, he really goes on the back burner.
Yeah.
The plot he has isn't... Yeah. The plot isn't really specifically related to Alec during that time. It's the villain's alliance. It's the prime thing, which shows Alec's character more. But it really amounts to showing how horrible Yul is in comparison to Alec. Alec's bad, but he's nowhere near Yul bad.
Right. And we do get to see Alec respond to that. Like, we see Alec doesn't like Yul. Keeps him in the alliance purely for strategy, because Alec's definitely there to win and understands that he needs the vote. But he definitely doesn't like Yul. And I think we get that with some of his confessionals being like, I would never stoop that low, to insult someone the way Yul does.
He abhors Yul's behavior, but he doesn't care about his own behavior to his own son. It's like... He's a bit of a hypocrite. A little bit of a hypocrite.
Isn't every Disventure Camp character a little bit of a hypocrite? True. It feels that way. But no, I think that's a really good observation, because like he does kind of like, it's a little tone deaf. It's a little like he kind of dismisses it. I mean, when he talks about the story with his son in the sandbox, he's very like, oh yeah, this happened. It was so annoying, and everyone's like, oh my goodness, like you're horrible for that. But
reminder, Alec's not a great person.
he's not a great person.
One thing I would also like to touch on real quick, and I'm curious to hear Raitix's take on this. What do you think of the possibility of an Alec and Rhea ship?
They certainly do get along sometimes. I feel like it's mostly at the expense of others, though. Like, for example, you laughing at him in that vent.
Or just like they're definitely the schemers. Like Alec and Rhea are kind of the ones pulling the strings. In the alliance, because Yule's kind of like the lightning rod of just like, he's just terrible, and just like everyone just like looks at him like, Kai, you're a terrible person. And then Gret's playing a much more submissive role, and then Gabby's like such a wild card when it comes to the villains alliance. So like it kind of leaves Rhea and Alec to pull the strings. So naturally they interact quite a bit. So I see where people are shipping that.
Yeah, Rhea is a bit. Rhea is sometimes intellectual, and I think Alec, lacks an intellectual companionship in his life. So I can see where the sparks are there. Like, it's like how with Fiore. Fiore's intellectual. That's why he actually managed to relate to her and get along with her somewhat. And I imagine his son is a bit of an idiot, so that's probably why there wasn't anything there.
I kind of wanted to just ask you a similar question to what I asked Anna, which was like, how do you kind of get into Alec's mindset when you voice him? Because from what I know about you, you are basically the exact opposite of Alec as a person. Like, you are such a nice person, wholesome person. So it's like, how do you get to that headspace where you just play such a cold, apathetic, controversial character?
I like to at first I clear my head, because like me, if I'm still in my head, then it ain't gonna work. That's not Alec. So I know Alec's intellectual, so I remember in DC1, I used to put on like intellectual videos, like what's the word? Oh my god, I forgot the word.
Like video essays?
Yeah, that's it. I used to put on stuff like that.
That's amazing.
Like, Tom Scott, because like this is the type of stuff Alec would watch. You know, this could help me get into that mindset. I've strayed away from doing that now because I feel like I can just sort of jump into it now. Early DC1, I think I portrayed Alec a bit differently, because like he started out in DC1 rather closeted. No, that's not like that. Like,
wait,
like,
what? Wait, there's hope for Alec and Connor.
Oh boy, the burly bros. Here we go.
No.
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, started out keeping his emotions in check. But as the season progressed, he showed off more and more of his emotions, and
yep.
So the early DC1, the Alec voice I did was a deeper pitch. Just a slightly deeper pitch.
I relate to this completely.
Me too, actually.
I guess we weren't really we weren't in our characters yet, I suppose.
Yeah, just learning more about them.
I think I shifted the pitch up a bit, partly because the deeper pitch I used was harder to be emotive with, like much harder, but also partly because I wanted it to sound like Alec was opening up, which he was, you know. And that voice obviously carries on into All-Stars, where he's already opening up at the very beginning, because he's learned that that's how you make connections and go far in this game. Like, he almost got the boot early in DC1, because he just sat back, did nothing.
Yeah, it's really a really good point, because I think we do see, like, over the couple seasons, we really see this like slow unwinding, and I think he starts to show more like vulnerability, but then once he like falls completely into trust with Fiore, that's when she throws him under the bus. and gets him eliminated, which really I think just sparks this kind of new arc where he's just really spiteful. And I think I find the way he enters All-Stars to be kind of delicious because he's just so like over it. He's not like talking to the interviewers like, I'm not giving you the time of day. We're done here. Like, I'm here for money. That's it. I think just like it's so realistic for someone like Alec or with Alec's mindset. But now, we're seeing like moments, like glimpses where he's being a little bit more like he's just feeling a little bit more empathy for characters like Connor, or like seems to be one of the more like understanding characters to Rhea, where most people just kind of think of Rhea as just being this brutish just diva, which she is, but like he gets along with her in a really interesting way. So
Alec in the first episode was so based with his reasonings for coming back. Like, everybody had these unresolved traumas for coming back. Like, I need to make amends with this and that person. Like, there's been 1 or 2 years in between, guys. You could have given each other a call, visited each other. And Alec's just like, I'm here for money.
Money.
Yeah. Oh, that was so... I laughed about that so hard. The contradiction between all these characters having all these motives for coming back, as if 3 million is not enough of an incentive, was just really funny, with Alec going, money.
I will say, not to toot my own horn, but that line edit was my idea. For originally, Alec had a longer line, and I was like, I think Alec should just say like money, like just a very short answer. No, yeah, I take credit for it. You can ask Tam and JPEG and everybody. That was me. So I will pat myself on the back a little bit with that, because I'm like, Alec's not gonna give a real answer, or like at least not a vulnerable one. He's just gonna be like, money.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well,
like, thank you.
Yeah, Connor.
And capitalized by your amazing delivery of it, because it was just so dry. He was just so over it already. Like, just so much personality in one word. Money. Like,
I do find that, like, that it's weird. The shorter sentences, like even like one-word sentences, stuff like that, that takes me longer to record. Probably because it's just so quick to get a take.
Yeah.
And then I can review it. But I just spend so much time doing those small lines just to try and get them as good as I can.
Yeah, I feel you. It pays off. But yeah, sometimes I'll like do a line that's like a paragraph long, and I'll do just like 2 takes. I'm like, okay, good enough.
It's like, I can't be bothered with that.
But then it's like I record like 30 times, because I'm getting very picky about how it sounds. These 3 in particular, like Trevor, Gabby, and Alec, are probably some of the like most complex and like richest to dive into. So I really appreciate y'all taking the time to do so. I think you provided some really great insight. And now with that being said, just keep things moving along. We'll get to the Q&A. What we all came to see, which some people might just skip to on the YouTube video, because I'm going to do like time markers. And that is totally okay.
Go back and listen to everything else.
Go back. You greedy son of a gun. Give Jayce his ad revenue money.
Please, I need to pay rent. It's due in like 5 days. Atlanta is not cheap, y'all. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Cool. So I think we'll just start. I'll kind of popcorn this a little bit, but we'll start with some questions for everybody, so y'all can just pop in as you feel compelled to. You also don't have to answer everyone, just whatever you feel compelled to answer. We're gonna get right into some like maybe potential hot takes and stuff with this one. Because the question is, a lot of people asked for your overall opinions of your characters, which you've kind of provided in your analysis here. Question I'm asking all of you: would you change anything about your characters? Like
Nothing.
If you were that, okay, fair. Gabby's perfect. Gabby is perfect.
I don't think I'd change much either. Maybe he could show a little more regret in the way he treats his son. But if he did that, I feel like that would take away from aspects that I like about Alec. Like it would take away from the Fiore and Alec bond. It would be less like it'd be less like she's like someone she's like one of the only people who could get along with him. But if it was if Alec felt remorse about how he treats his son, then it would be less impactful because he could just get along with any person, right?
Oh, for me, well, I've heard from credible sources, that Trevor is often one of the characters getting chopped up whenever the script needs more time.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
like one of the
sorry.
first guys getting cut on a little bit. So
It
if I had
tends to
got to
be.
change one thing, it would probably be the people who made that stupid decision. Get them out.
I will say I did not make any choices for cuts. They just asked me for edits, but
Yeah.
they do the cutting when
And
they get to the kind of the animation. They're like, okay, we need to shorten this because it's too long. So
It's sad
It
because
is.
as much depth as Trevor's getting right now, I know there could be more,
There could
and we're
be.
not gonna get that probably. And it's like, ah, man.
Yeah, there's actually this whole plot where Trevor and Emily like just like go to Chile and they go hiking and they like go discover themselves in the mountains and then they like come back and it spanned like 3 episodes, but they're like, nah, it's
Right, yeah.
too long. And it was actually it was a musical, so like the whole thing was, and it was all in song. It was like Les Mis, where they're just singing the whole time.
Yeah. And I did so many takes for that too.
Actually, without like getting too off topic, I did want to like ask you about that because I think there was a couple people who asked you specifically in the Q&A about your singing. Was like what was that like for you? Like, how did you get into that?
I just love doing it. I know I'm not the most talented. I'm not that bad, I don't think.
No, stop. You're a
but-
great singer because you crushed it. You crushed
well,
that.
thank you. No, I don't really have a lot of musical experience. I did a couple of musicals back in high school, so I know the feeling, but I just really like doing it. And so when they revealed that they were going to do a musical episode, I knew, like, guys, whatever happens, you are writing me into this. I don't care how you do it, just make it happen. They did, and I really love that because I don't know if Trevor would have sung if it wasn't for that. It makes sense for him to test the challenge, so to say. But I think the challenge was pretty clear, you know. We could have had one of those with Trevor and Oliver being just mute and going all funky mode as an explanation for that.
True.
And so what scared me about that was I did the whole thing. Like I got a song and I recorded the vocals for that, and I recorded this like 17 times at
Wow.
least.
Dang.
Because it was a high piece. Like I changed it a little bit around for myself so that it fit my vocal range a little bit better.
Right.
Because there's a couple of high notes in there that I cannot reach. Like my voice can go a bit higher, but not that high. So it was like I'm talking desk out of the way, standing bent over my microphone, just shouting so I can reach the highest notes. And then they revealed, like, oh, well, actually, Billy, this is going to be a cappella. There's not going to be any instrumentals backing this up.
You didn't
And
know
I was
that.
like,
going
no,
into it.
I spent all this time synchronizing that just for nothing. I could have sung whatever, and it wouldn't have mattered anything. So I was a little upset when I heard that, but it's fine. I like doing it.
In
So
the end season, Trevor must sing with Emily.
Yes.
yes. Oh, with
Yes,
Emily.
they
Oh, that'd be
should.
so cute. Just like a
would be
whole like
amazing.
La La Land type number. It's
Aw.
like
Oh,
Gosling
Oh.
and Stone on top of the
I
hill
would love
overlooking LA.
nothing more. I would love nothing more. So if we are
so
ever going to
cute.
do more musical thingies for Disventure Camp, you better write me into that again.
Absolutely. And honestly, you're like selling me completely on Tremoli right now. Like I kind of want this to happen too. Like,
Yes,
it's
yes,
actually so
let's make
cute
it
thinking
happen.
about it. Awesome.
Emily Stone and Trevor Gosling. Let's go.
All right. So, next question. Yeah, this is a good one. This is from Keith. Keith asks, were you unsure of your own voice takes that made it in at times?
But for a long time, I I was unsure of my whole Alec voice for a while. You know, I didn't think
Really?
it fit. Yeah, which made it even more surprising I got the role. But
Imposter
see, I had a
syndrome
friend.
is powerful.
Yeah,
It's
it
so
was.
powerful.
It was that. I had a friend. I think he was honestly trying to be helpful, but he said he didn't think the voice fit at all, and I guess that might have caused me to share that sentiment for a while. But now that I'm way more used to it, it's not jarring or anything. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I've found the role. I'm in the role. Specifically answering the question, there was a line in season 1, the fuck you. I've told this story
Oh, I
before, but-
remember this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell it again, though. It's a great story.
Okay, so that line took me hours. Like, I hadn't really learned how to show or project my voice into the mic yet. So I was literally just shouting into that microphone, fuck you, for hours. And I just couldn't get a take I was happy with. And at the end of the first session, my voice was hurting so bad, so I just had to stop. Went back to it the next day, and it was just the same thing, same process.
Mhm.
And just hurt voice at the end. But I also did a non-shouty take in the middle of that. And wouldn't you know it,
They went with
that's
that
the
one.
take they used. Yeah, meaning all that shouting for 2 days was a complete waste of time.
That is so good. You should please, Raitix, do me a favor. Release this as a motivational podcast episode. Like you just going, screw you for 2 hours straight. You know.
Fuck you. That'd be so therapeutic. I mean...
I like fuck you ASMR.
For 10 hours.
I don't know, man. I keep forgetting my takes after a while.
You
like
just
I just
black
did a whole
out.
reaction video where I didn't remember shit. So no, I can't remember a couple of takes that I thought, ew, are you sure you're gonna use that? Maybe when they didn't use instrumentals to back up my singing in episode 6. That's maybe the only thing. And I don't think there's a lot of takes of Trevor that I'm
so-
unhappy with.
I was very curious about songs, how we looks like together.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
I'm not very proud about my solo because there is sound very auto-tune. I don't know
Are
what
you-
happened, but in one moment, my solo, only one, that's very not good sound, and it's very not funny. But that's only one sound, I think. But all project was very nice.
Yeah.
I think everyone, Tom, he was in the same group, and I love Piggyback.
Yeah, Piggyback's such a good song. I know what you
Yes.
mean, though, because we recorded all our parts separately, it always makes it a little hard. So I think, like, if everyone's singing in a slightly different key, there were some moments where maybe it was, like, hard to mix. But I will say, like, objectively, you sounded so good, and I'm not just saying that. A lot of people were, like, really impressed by Gabby's voice, because I remember looking at comments and everyone's like, oh, like Aiden and Gabby sound so good, because it was so cute. Like, you did a really good job despite the challenge. So I hope you're not, like, too down on yourself about that, because I think it sounded great, like, just from an outside perspective.
You sound great too, because you have deep voice and
When I want to.
very, very. You had, and you blend with Aiden. I don't remember his name.
Weister.
Weister,
Mhm.
and your voice is very good blend. He have strong but very high. And you,
He is a tenor, for sure.
Yeah.
but your blend is very good.
Oh, thank you. I
really,
appreciate
really
it.
harmonized.
Yes.
The
Yes,
harmonies were
harmonize.
cool, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just saying, if there was a winner of that challenge, I think it was Cyan. No, just kidding. Everyone did.
I fully agree.
Everyone
Sorry,
did
Yeah,
Raitix.
good.
100%.
I think that's what I like about, though. I liked that they decided to make it so the like loser of the challenge was something unrelated to the actual singing, for one, because like every song was like so different, and I just feel like everyone really rose to the challenge. Because I know a lot of us were like nervous about singing, but I think we just really channeled our characters and just like let that come out, and it just worked really well. And also shout outs to Weister, because I know he helped a lot of people with the singing and stuff. He helped me, so it definitely like paid off.
Weiser, our little singing coach. Shout out to Weiser.
Yeah, because he's really talented. Like he's a really good singer.
Oh, he so is.
All right, so next question. Let's see. I'm going to go. Let's go to this one. So Jake's Pink Coat from England asks, what were your personal favorite episodes to voice act? It doesn't have to be All-Stars. It could be maybe something from season 1, too.
I think it's a tie for me between, well, first season 1, Alec's elimination episode. He goes ballistic on Fiore for eliminating him. And that was like such a different scene to anything I had previously recorded for Alec. It was like Alec finally snapped, and that was just a really fun thing to record.
Yeah.
So it was that, and then it's also between the upcoming episode. Actually, I won't say why, but I'm not hinting anything specifically happening in the episode. But you know, it was a fun episode to record. That's all I'll say.
Nice. Okay, your personal favorite is coming up, so people got something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Oh, well, recency bias is playing a role here, but the last one was pretty cool to do. Trevor got such an emotional arc there. That was really different from what I've gotten to do so far for Trevor.
Yeah.
Especially, I like shouty monologues, and the fact that they kept that in as well, that take of Trevor going like, sure, whatever, not like I was gonna have fun too. I think I did 2 or 3 takes of that, and one was a lot more snarky, like, whatever. It's not like I wanted to have fun or something. But I was personally hoping that they would pick the one where I just went ballistic, just went all out.
I'm glad they did. It's so funny, because then everyone's just staring at him like, you good?
Yeah, that was good too. Yeah, you're going. Can we now vote? Are you done?
You done?
Yeah, and then of course the crying afterwards, which I am still pretty proud of, because I'm not really a crier in real life. So the fact that came out so naturally was really cool.
You nailed it.
No.
Oh, thank you. See, if I wanted to cry, it's gonna sound something like that. Nobody's gonna take you serious. So the fact that I could sell it is good.
I very like episode when Gabby finally tells Gret about she's feelings. This episode with the bell on Molo, you remember?
I think that was episode 6, I want to say, of season 1.
She about tells Gret, because Gret don't was kind for her, and she's tell about her feelings.
Yeah.
Because Gret only used Gabby to make this and this.
Right.
And Gabby break out and tell her everything.
Yeah, like Gabby really stands up to Gret, and it's so satisfying. It's such a good moment for Gabby. It's like anytime a character that's just like the underdog just standing up for themselves is always such a pleasure to watch, I think, like in any show.
Yes, that was very good episode. And now I think about episode with Mr. Winkers.
Oh, yeah, the bunny, the space episode.
Yes, and that was very sad when Gabby must say to goodbye Ellie, and that's very different, different side of Gabby.
This is a good one. So this one's for Billy. So Billy, Amelia from Poland asks, do you have any headcanons for Trevor?
Ooh, let me think. So there's something in the way that I do the delivery for Trevor, which is a headcanon that I base his voicing on, especially for season one. For me, Trevor and Derek have always been like a dynamic duo together, both wanting their own show as hosts.
Mm.
And Disventure Camp season one is their first shot at doing so. And I feel like you can. That's at least the vibe that I'm trying to put into Trevor. Is like this is his big break into fame. You know, if this goes well, he is going to be on top of all the billboards, and he gets to host all the other cool shows. You know, this is a position for him that he is so excited for, which to me also kind of justifies his animal killing things. You know, the part that we kind of not talk about, but yeah, that's my. That's a little bit of my headcanon for Trevor, is that he just really wants this hosting role, and because of that, if you listen back, especially to season one, there's like two voices for Trevor in there. The one where he's on camera and the one where he's behind stage. And behind stage, he's more energetic, more quirky, more lovable. And on stage, he's more calm, collected, and cool, so to say. And he's really trying to master this. Jeff Probst, is that his name? The guy from Survivor,
Yeah,
you know,
from Survivor.
He's really trying to harness that. Welcome to this Disventure Camp, you know, that kind of vibe. And that's my headcanon for Trevor, is that this is his first hosting gig, and he just really wanted to do good, and now he's in jail. But he gets to be back as an intern, so he sees an opportunity back in, and he takes it gladly.
Yeah, he's like, he really jumps on that. He's like, Emily, my savior, please, anything's better than this.
Where do I sign? Where do I sign?
I think that's actually really just not only really well thought out, but I love that because it also really gets into some of Trevor's flaws a little bit. That he's like so desperate for this success that he's willing to do some very morally questionable things. I think we tend to forget Trevor's a criminal because he's so lovable, but I think that's what makes him so interesting too. Like, oops, I did that. Like, awesome. Next question is for Raitix. I like this one. So, Hannah from the USA asks, hey Raitix, I'm a huge fan. I'm wondering, when and how did you realize you wanted to be a voice actor? Was it a rocky start, or did you easily pick up gigs? Thank you. Hashtag Daddy Alec. Their words, not mine. Their words.
You said it.
Take that out of context.
So, it's ever since I was a child. I always used to voice characters and stories and whatnot with my brother, and doing that gave me my love for voice acting. And like ever since I was young, because of that, I'd always wanted to try doing it professionally, but I could never convince myself. I said this earlier, but shout out to LJ.
Yeah.
You know, he really, really pushed me to give it a go, and yeah, I honestly think I was lucky getting the role as Alec without any prior experience. But it's a tad rocky getting to other gigs. Weirdly, every total drama inspired show I've auditioned for, I've gotten a role in. I don't mean to brag, but it's just a weird coincidence. Just,
whoa!
I don't know if that's because I'm lucky or if it's because my role as Alec has made me well known in that community. Oh, thank you.
Who are you paying?
So either way, I'll be forever thankful to Jared and Robert and anyone else on that selection community for giving me the opportunity to voice Alec.
I think, yeah, just like you kind of spoke to it earlier, but just really inspiring, because it's like, if you are someone who wants to voice act, just go for it. Because like that's how you're gonna get a role, is you just got to put yourself out there and just keep trying. You know, as if you keep at it, you'll get something.
And if you can, just get someone supportive in your life to just support you on your journey. Like, that's just a big help.
Oh, absolutely.
Motivation.
I really feel like voice actors especially are just really good at uplifting each other, and I really don't think it's like
yeah.
performative at all. Like it's super genuine. Like we're out there supporting each other because it's tough work. It's very vulnerable, and we're in our booths recording by ourselves a lot, so we really have to like push each other and like. As we talked about before, imposter syndrome super real, so we really gotta gas each other up because we see everybody's talent, but it's hard to see that in yourself sometimes. So yeah, having that support network is super important.
Very well said. Yeah.
Awesome. Next question for Anna. Rose Love asks, "Hi Black Cat. At the beginning of season 1, Gabby was someone who I thought would just annoy everyone, but I was watching her interactions with Ellie and her development, and I soon grew to love her. I was really shocked in episode 8 when she was eliminated, but I loved her even more with her joining this spy subplot with Tom. In All-Stars, I still loved her, and she changed in a way I did not expect. How do you feel about Gabby going into villain mode this season after Ellie's elimination?"
That's very big question.
It is, yeah.
But okay, about Gabby is like villain, yeah, but she is different from other villains.
Yes.
She is with them with one alliance, but she's more like lonely wolf, and she voting with them, but she have one point because she wants to revenge about them from Ellie, and last episode show us like Gabby must fighting with Tom about keys, and one of them stand in a show. Remember? In cages.
Yeah, the
with Tom.
sudden death challenge, yeah.
Yes, and she probably voting for Tom, but she's still friends, and she's understand this is game, and when she will be evil, she was be like Joker, I think.
Yeah, she was having fun with it, yeah.
She don't care about other villains, but she have one purpose. Yeah, I think it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because Gabby shows a lot, and this is a new arc and show more and more value. I don't know. Sorry for my English,
No,
but
you're fine. You're fine. I think you bring up a really good point in that Gabby is not like fully a villain and never really was. Like she's still herself because she's able to have these moments like she helps get Tom out, but she has this moment that's really sweet after the challenge is over where she's like, hey, like, I'm sorry if I got carried away. Like, I just really want us to be friends. Like, I still care about you. It really just shows, like, Gabby's compassion and ability to still extend the olive branch, even though she's kind of in her villain era. And I think it was just, like, for Gabby, it was just always coming from a place of, like, she's just trying to win for Ellie. She's just trying to do Ellie proud.
yeah.
And I think it makes her more interesting because she still calls out the villains. Like she doesn't like Yule, and she proposes voting for him too because she's like, well, he's just a terrible guy. Like, why would we even keep him around at all? We'll do like a few more questions here just so this doesn't get too long. This is, we kind of touched on this a little bit, but I really like this question. I definitely want to ask it. It's for everybody. Gianella from Peru, I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but Gianella from Peru asks, do you have any little rituals or preparations before going into character? Or like anything you do? I know, Raitix, you mentioned you watch video essays.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah,
anything else you do, or that any rituals that the rest of you do to like get into character?
Well, now that I've gotten a better grasp since DC1 on how to do that, like the most I do know is like a phrase to just snap into the voice. I go,
lead-in phrase.
I will. just I will. That's it.
I will.
It's just, I will. And then I've got the voice. Really good. It came from the audition. I improvised a line. I will remain professional about this. It's just that stuck. That's just stuck with me, and I was like, all right.
That's so funny because I relate to that entirely because I also have a lead-in phrase and it's from the audition because mine is my special training. My special training. And that's like how I get to the Tom voice, and it's just like so funny to like not a single original experience, right? Like
Do we just all do the same thing then? Because I did this for season 1 too.
You did? What was your phrase?
For me, it was, I believe, just something to like, welcome to this Disventure Camp.
Nice.
I don't quite remember it. It's been a while since I've done it because Trevor is more and more growing into my regular voice. So now I'm just booting up the microphone and going, okay, let's go. What are we recording today? But yeah, I'm to quickly touch upon something else, because I recently got announced as a voice actor for Exotic Escapades, as with you, Jayce, as with you, Raitix. Just like almost everybody here. But there, it's a character's voice that I am very much not natural in.
Yeah, it's
So
more
I think-
charactery. Yeah.
Yeah, the mystery man. Yeah, I think for that, it's just gonna be me doing an evil cackle, and then I'm into it.
How about you, Anna? Any rituals you do?
Maybe sometimes when I must warm up, I loud. And it is.
You're just
The
like,
fact that
I'm there.
Discord couldn't keep up with that is so good.
That's warm up my larynx and
Yep.
because Gabby is very loud, and sometimes I must warm up like to singing to don't hurt my throat.
Don't hurt your voice. Yeah, that's also a good tip for any aspiring voice actors. Warm up and take care of your voice. It's so important. Like, especially if you have a character like Gabby who has to be yelling a lot or just doing a lot of very like high pitched like laughs and stuff. Definitely take care of yourself.
Yes.
I like this a lot. So Midas from Hershey, Pennsylvania asks, get me some chocolate. How difficult is it to portray strong emotions in voice acting? Unlike theater, where you're able to see faces, how do you compensate for that with your voice acting skills? I think this is a really cool question.
I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes, you do. I guess.
Apparently,
how do you?
it's working.
Maybe a way to phrase it is like, how do you get yourself there emotionally?
Yes, I think at first we must feel our characters, and we must check the scene and understand what going on, understand intentions, and we must put ourselves in this character, and when we feel it, then we understand what happened, and that will be very natural, and we know how we should move, talk. When I play, I very gesticulating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like
Yes.
gesturing, moving your body, like using your whole body.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know because in Poland is the same word, and then I ask, and your body, your voice, everything you will know when you will be understand. You will be know about intention, and you will be the character, and you can know when you should some cry or loud screaming, and listen your emotions.
Yeah, very well said. I'm gonna like watch a TED talk by you on acting because that's like everything you said. It's you just really have to put yourself like physically in the situation. You have to imagine you are there and like use your whole body. I think that's the thing too, is like, even though, you don't see our faces and our bodies, we're still using that. We're still expressing everything, even though you're not seeing it, because that helps the voice come across more authentically.
For any aspiring voice actors watching this, I would like to give you a little challenge right now. Give me a line where you say that you are very happy about something. You made some big discovery. You had something very happy happen in your life currently. But say it whilst looking sad. Just give the saddest little smirk on your face that you can, and then try to be super happy in your voice. It's really difficult.
Difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. When you are voice acting, especially for a character like Trevor, for me, he's this energetic, bubbly little guy. Like, I'm happy too. And you can probably hear it in my voice too. You would also be able to hear it if I wasn't in the right mindset to record for Trevor, because it's gonna sound a lot more monotone and it's gonna sound a lot more ingenuine. So give that a little try. I'm liking the image of people pausing this right now and going shouting happy things whilst looking sad.
That's actually a really good exercise. I'm gonna steal that if that's okay, because I really like that.
That's fine. I just made that up on the spot. I'm not a coach. This is not financial advice.
Oh my gosh! I'm gonna put like a giant disclaimer over the video right there. That's like, Silly Billy is not a certified going off. Yeah. Professional. I guess Raitix, anything you want to add before we move on?
The way I compensate for the voice acting, I think, well, I like to just do like small noises to try and like get my feelings across, like small gasps or sighs or grunts, just small things like that, like to help portray how a character is feeling. Like if the character's crying, you'd add like a shaky sigh or something as you go into the sentence.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
It's definitely like it adds to it, right? We're not just reading like the words on the page, we're finding all the life around them, because that's what makes it human. That's what makes us human, is all those little hesitations, the grunts, the sighs, the little chuckles, like absolutely. And that goes, like you said, like for any emotion, like whatever matches what the scene is calling for.
You put it better than me.
No. I was just piggybacking. Piggy. So 17 Karat Cardinal asks, what Disventure Camp All-Stars elimination so far, without spoiling, is your favorite, or which one sticks out to you the most and why?
Oh, okay, I don't have a favorite, because it's always sad to see when a character like gets the boot. But Miriam's elimination definitely stuck out to me.
Aww.
But it's not because of Miriam's elimination itself, but rather because when I was reading the script for the first time, I was in bed. I was about to go to sleep, and then they released it, so I took a gander, and going for it, I was thinking, Alec's getting a lot of lines, huh? Oh, Miriam spotted him. Oh no!
Oh, you're like, oh no, Alec's going home.
Yeah, that was fully in my mindset. I thought, this is it for Alec. And so I was just inching the page down line by line. I was as nervous as Alec himself during that. But then Alec stayed, of course, and I felt a lot of relief. I'm sad the Miriam Miracle was eliminated, but I can't deny I didn't sleep good that night.
Oh man, the Miriam Miracle. Yeah, no, that's
the Miriam Miracle. Yeah,
I always feel that way too whenever I would read an episode, and I'm like, I'm getting a lot of lines. It's the reality show Kiss of Death is when you start getting a lot of like exposure. It means you're gonna go.
I can't relate.
All right, Billy, what's your favorite elimination then, since you're always safe?
I don't care for any of them, as long as Trevor gets more lines. Oh god, which one is my favorite elimination so far? There have definitely been a couple that caught me off guard. Like, for example, Lake's elimination was pretty surprising.
That's my answer, personally.
Yeah.
That one was, like, very well done, I think.
Yeah, and it's funny because I know we were talking a little bit in the writing room before anything was set in stone, and there was this very naughty theory going around, like everybody knows that Lake is gonna go far this season, right? So what if she isn't?
Yeah.
And
Everyone's like,
apparently
oh,
they went
Lake
for
is
that.
their favorite, so she's gonna win.
Yeah, I remember the bold theory of Lake being the first boot, and then after that, I kind of left the scene. And then Lake wasn't the first boot, so I thought, well, they kind of dropped that theory. And then she went second, and I was like, oh shit, they did it!
They actually did it.
Yeah, oh my god. Now who's gonna be the main villain? The main winner? I'm guessing Ashley. Oh no, wait, she's gone too.
Oh, yeah, Ashley was a rug pull too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy that she's not the winner though, just because it would have been a little obvious.
A little too predictable. I agree.
A little,
no,
yeah.
I agree.
She's not
too good
sure
for the
who's gonna
show.
win this season though.
Yeah, it's I think a lot of people's like early picks are gone now, so it kind of could be almost any of them.
Yeah, I so hope there's not a villain winner. Dear God, please not a villain winner. But
We'll see.
which good options do we have left, especially after Tom leaving? Like, I'm pretty sure Aiden's not gonna do it again unless they're gonna give him the win this time around. Please, dear God,
Double
don't let it be
finalist?
Jake. I would cry. What do we have left on the hero team? Allie? Allie could maybe work? Maybe?
Allie from NPC to All-Stars winner, could you imagine?
That would be fun. That would be
It's
fun.
kinda-
But that's like the same thing that they did with Miriam from like early boot Joe character to winner of season 1. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the route they're taking.
They always like to go unpredictable, for sure.
Yeah.
At least so
And
far.
Allie is rootable this time around, so let's go, Allie.
Could
Woo!
be Allie. I'm biting my tongue, but how about you, Anna? Did you have like a favorite elimination scene or just one that stuck out to you?
I don't know, because every elimination for me now is sad because
Yeah.
I love these characters, but
Me too.
I have one character. I can't like him because he's so nasty, and this is Yule, and I can wait when they kicked out because he's annoying. But I don't know, someone. I think he should be kicked in the first episode, and I know James should everything at second season, but James is cool and you'll not.
We'll go back and rewrite All-Stars.
Spoken.
Get rid of Yule first.
No, that's a character. I mean, no actor, you know.
Oh, of
But,
course, yeah. Michael's great.
That character is very awful, and yeah, I know he make a very a lot new situations to be and conflicts with Gret and Gabby and everyone, because I
And
think
everyone?
everyone
Yeah.
doesn't like Yule, and he's drama boy. Then viewers have fun. And no, they want to watch, but for me, no one should leave, only you.
We're just ending the season on a 9-way tie. Just
Yeah,
Yule
Yeah,
gone.
just like Yule's gone, and then we'll just be like, okay, we're good.
Mission completed.
Let's eliminate Yule and split the 3,017 ways.
Right, yeah.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll do one more question here. And I definitely like this one too. So Mix Pickle asks, I'm trying to get into voice acting as a side career, and it seems I'm still stuck with only one show. Grateful as I am to be a part of it, I'm still trying to get accepted for these projects, but I never seem to get accepted. Do you have any helpful tips on how to improve with voice acting? I'd love to hear.
I'm still new to it, of course, but first thing first, you gotta know that voice acting is a career filled with rejection. It's something you have to get used to. You're gonna get far more rejections than you are gonna get exceptions.
Yep.
No, that's not the word. Acceptances. As for your actual act of voice acting, I think the most important part is your emotive range. Like, there's gonna be characters out there that your voice suits, but if you don't have the ability to portray emotions convincingly, then you're less likely to land the role. So I would focus on developing your ability to act out emotions, like something you can definitely learn and can always improve on. So.
Oh, yeah, I'll agree with Raitix on that one because I've been wanting to get into voice acting for a long time. And when that didn't feel like a feasible option, I started doing YouTube because that's something I like doing as well. And then I think I just got lucky that I kind of rolled into this position. And what I always thought voice acting was like, I can do voice acting. I have a lot of funny voices I can do. That's not really voice acting. It's like Raitix says, it's the emotional range of how you can use those voices. Like everybody can do an impersonation of I don't know, Donald Trump, for example. But it's the way that you use your voice and make emotions feel emotionful. Yeah. That's I think far more important when it comes to voice acting. Or at least that's what I've been picking up over the last couple of years doing this.
Absolutely. That's a really good answer. I had a coach once that described it as little v, big A. That acting is so much more important than the voice. And I think sometimes people will come to me and just be like, oh, like, I want to do voice acting, but I just don't have the voice for it. I'm like, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as the voice of voice acting because it requires all kinds of voices. Everyone has a unique voice. And it's just so much about the skill and the craft. And it's always something you can learn and hone for sure.
Yes.
Little V, big A. I'm stealing
I
that.
think it's maybe, but because this is a question from Pickle, yes?
Yes.
Matt? Yes. And I read them. And I think he should maybe find theater classes in his era because they could show how to acting. Like you said about voice, every voice is good because so many characters need different voices, and this is no voiceover like in Poland and post-Soviet countries have something like lector. It's a voiceover on a movie, and this is voiceover is on movie, and they prefer deep low voice because it's very blend with movie, and he is invisible, and this voice every is deep and low, and everyone wants voice like VO. But
the movie
like,
trailer, the like in a world, like that voice.
Yeah. Or yes. Yeah, and everyone wants that voice. But sometimes when you have that voice or that voice or that voice, that's you must know how be a character. That's the most important. You can be and you can act. Then that's most and about maybe I'm not a very good example because I'm not English, but I think diction.
Yeah, like just being able to like clearly communicate into the mic, like
Yes,
mic
very
technique, pronunciation.
yes, and emission, voice emission, voice emission
Yeah.
should be clear. Uh, should help warm up, like for singing, and you can know how voice is made, how made voice, how when you feel comfortable, you shouldn't cross the barrier for strength. If you can't feel comfortable in, you shouldn't, because you can hurt your voice for all time, and you
Right.
can't move. You can't talk anymore.
Yeah.
Then you must feel comfortable. You must know how to play, how to be a character. And I think the simple way is to go for classes theater to show how to, and how to play. That's will be sorry.
Yeah, no, that's a really good advice.
Helpful
Helpful, yeah.
for this person if understand what is clue.
Yeah, because it's important to choose something you can sustain, right? Like a voice you can sustain and be able to get in and out of. And I like that you bring up taking classes. That's super important. Like, I know so many professional voice actors are always taking classes, they're always learning. And also, just like, I think there's something to say about being less focused on getting roles and just more focused on learning your craft and just like improving at voice acting. If you just focus on getting better, the roles will come. Like, not worrying so much about booking or not booking, just focus on improving and having fun, and the roles will come.